When I think of games that are important to me, a wide variety come to mind for a wide variety of reasons. Maybe it's because they were among the first real video games I ever played and have a great deal of nostalgia for them. Maybe it's because I found them at significant or relevant times in my life. Maybe it's because I simply regard them as being of an exceptional and memorable quality. Or maybe it's because I got so emotionally invested in them that I became codependent and crashed when it was over, but we've already talked about that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is not the best game I have ever played. It isn't even the best Xenoblade game I've ever played. If someone said they didn't like it, well, I wouldn't like that, but yeah, sure. I can see why, and for reasons outside of just personal preference. Having said that, I don't know if I can point to a more important or significant Nintendo Switch game, for me at least, and as we reach the twilight of said console, it's a game I find myself thinking back to more and more these days. I can remember getting Xenoblade 2 shortly after getting my Switch back around Christmas 2017, and as far as I can remember, it was the first proper narrative-driven RPG I ever beat. I've been invested in games before, but this was the first time I really sank myself into a game, really felt myself become enraptured by it. People who know me know that I am obsessed with Xenoblade, and though I became a fan with Xenoblade X on the Wii U, it was this game that turned Xenoblade into a personality trait. In fact, until the release of 3, you could have made the case that I wasn't so much a Xenoblade fan as I was a Xenoblade 2 fan. And as much as I can say I understand why someone wouldn't like it, I gotta be honest and say I struggle to think of something that I don't. The battle system is complex and almost overwhelming, but deceptively intuitive, with nearly every aspect feeding into another. After nearly 500 hours, I can basically play it on autopilot. At times it almost feels like I'm playing a rhythm game, inputs and attacks just naturally flowing into the next. And the fights themselves are so over the top and cinematic that even after all this time, I still find them exciting. The insane music, the flashy weapons and animations, the bombastic blade specials, the fact that everyone is constantly screaming out attack names and quips, the dopamine rush when you pull off a full burst. It's a ridiculous, wonderful overload that I honestly think the series has yet to top. I don't know if I'd call it the best combat in the series, but it is undeniably the most entertaining. But honestly, that's just scratching the surface of why I love this game, and isn't even the first thing I think of. I mentioned it earlier, but the music is phenomenal, arguably the best in the series. So many iconic songs between area and battle tracks, boss themes and cutscenes, and of course, the Xenoblade title screen piano ballad. Just gorgeous. And speaking of, the environments are so imaginative and beautiful, especially for a launch year Switch game, and anything lost in technical specs is more than made up for with art direction. The world building is great. All rest might actually be my favourite setting in the series, probably because, unlike any of the other games, which tend to feature smaller, more militarised and insular societies, it actually is a proper developed world. You have a massive variety of land masses, countries and races, all of whom have their own long and unique histories and relationships with each other. About halfway through, it just straight up becomes a political thriller. More than any other Xenoblade game, All Rest feels like a true, breathing, thriving world with a developed and diverse humanity comparable to our own, which is probably why, despite its story generally being more fantastical and upbeat, at least as Xeno stories go, it hits a lot closer to home than others.
As soon as people are denied something they desire, they try to take it by force.
So you hate them? Humans?
No. I hate this world.
Hating people? Hating yourself? Where does it end? What do you do when you hate the whole world?
Xenoblade 2, when you get down to it, is about having faith. Not faith in God or any kind of higher power, but faith in people, in yourself, the world. Faith that, yes, while things can and will get bad, so terribly awful at times, people will always stand up, full of love of life and man, and fight for the promise of a better world. It's a faith that, well, if it were easy to have, we'd already have that better world, wouldn't we? The game's antagonists, Jin, Malos, and Malthus, seek to destroy the world not because they're just evil and want to kill everyone, but because they're tired, because they just can't go on anymore. After experiencing so much suffering and witnessing even more, they've just given up. They don't see the point of it anymore. They don't understand why we have to just keep going, living day by day only for things to never change. They've lost faith in humanity, and they've lost faith in themselves.
It will change. I will change it. That's the reason we've come all this way. I'm doing it for myself. If it helps put smiles on people's faces, helps them live their lives together, then that's my role in this world!
But running counter to this is Rex, whose fervent, radical optimism rushes forward time and time again to prove them wrong. Rex is a child, he's naive, reckless, thoughtless, a kid. But what can we have faith in if not our kids? Watching him is like staring into a sun. He never blinks, never concedes, never doubts for a moment what he says. And because of that earnesty, that genuine drive, so many people are drawn into his orbit. Drifting souls, once lost, consigned to a life of hopelessness, once again finding the strength to dream. To have faith that maybe people can change. That as certain as people are to hurt each other, we are also certain to save each other. And while it certainly is easier to hurt, those who make the choice to save, to trust and to help others, they are the only ones who know what true strength is. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is not the best game I have ever played. It isn't even the best Xenoblade game I've ever played. And I do not care. Because if it has taught me anything, it's that obsessing over unachievable perfection, seeing only that which hurts us, is a mindset that inevitably leads to despair and little else. If it has taught me anything, it's that it's okay to hope. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to trust. It's okay to love. And that is something that is truly priceless. This video was made as part of a Nintendo Switch farewell project by the Video Essay Library. I and a bunch of other community members made videos paying tribute to their favourite or most significant Switch games, and if you want to see the others, check out the playlist in the description or the end card. A big thank you to my patrons, especially my tier 3 patron, Michael Coolwood, for your support. Hope to see the rest of you later. Bye bye.